I just wanted to be heard. How many days were left now? 13? 7? No more than 3, I was sure. I stared at the blank page. It shone in the half-darkness. It was like the moon, reflecting light from a sun I couldn't see. All there was for me was the paper. It was so bright, the only light in the darkness. I cried looking at it, so clean, so perfect, so damned empty. Just take your time, the doctor said, making me jump. The doctor was there somewhere, in the darkness outside of the light. Her voice was very clear, soft, demanding. She made me do so many things. I took my time. I stared at the paper and cried. "What do you see?" the doctor asked, demanded. How many times was it now? I jumped whenever she spoke. "Nothing," I said, sobbing. "Nothing," I said again, bending over the paper, breaking the light, casting a shadow that splashed like demon blood up from the bottom of the page. I screamed, and the drawing pad was taken from me. Hands seized me, pushed me down, and I was in that darkness again. Hands so huge, unseen, pushing me down to do dark things, ugly things, or else there would be pain. I choked on the memories, couldn't breathe. I opened my mouth to those memories, tears flowing from my empty eyes in the darkness, like demon blood. I wasn't screaming, but the doctor was. What was she saying? I didn't know, but she wasn't angry at me. No, she wasn't furious at me. She raged. I could feel her then, a heat, a fire, a boiling inferno in the darkness, and my body sizzled, the hairs reaching for her in awful waves, dancing in the heat of her voice. And I could see the notepad. A sliver of it was still in the light. There were tears here, splashed like the blood of accidental killing, of premeditated killing. The tears were frozen, already dried, demon tears. "I can see," I said. I think I said it. I wasn't sure. "I can see it," I said, as loudly as I could, but there wasn't any air in my collapsed lungs, no strength in my choked throat. "What?" the doctor asked, her voice so demanding, as always. Fire licked at the edges of her voice, but it wasn't fire for me. Not for me. A great weight stepped away from me, flew away on dark wings. I could feel them near, hovering, still a terrible weight awaiting to crush me. But for now, far away. Hands still held me, but the doctor would help me. If only I knew what she wanted. I looked at the paper. Someone had bled there. Someone had cried. I couldn't think, only remember, and no words came. Nothing. But my right hand was free. My unclean hand was free. I reached for the paper. A hand shot from the darkness and grabbed mine, and I froze. It was a huge hand, an ugly hand, hairy, knuckles with deep valleys of skin, veins, marked with sins more terrible than my memories, but not more terrible than I could imagine. I screamed, fought, kicked, desperate. I would not be fouled by those hands, would not be violated, but this was too late, too late. This hand was already on me. Others were. Evil is so strong, so terribly strong. It wasn't fair. The sweat of that hand seeped into my skin, and I felt hot breath on my neck. I was back in hell, with only more pain and death to welcome me. I moaned. "Damn it, where are your gloves?" the doctor demanded. The doctor? The doctor. She, yes, she. She felt so far away, like a mother, like my mother. But the doctor had a voice, and I couldn't remember my mother's voice. And surely I had a mother. Surely. Please? I wasn't a demon. I wasn't a demon. The darkness spun. No, I was spun by terrible hands. I did not fight, did not move. and it was like floating. I was like nothing in the darkness, nothing in those terrible hands. I was seated. And then the hands went away, but they were close. I couldn't get away. The notepad filled my world, bigger now, more empty. A desert, a great white desert in an eternal light, and it shone like the moon. I floated above it, and I wondered if angels felt like this, surrounded by so much darkness with nothing to show them the way, but the great white light reflected from us damned sinners. "What do you see?" the doctor asked. She was still there. She was always there, like an angel watching over me, over my damned soul in the darkness, watching over me in the great glowing paper. I tried to speak, to thank her for being there, for always watching over me, but nothing came. My hands twisted, imploring, making mangled shapes that tried to express their happiness, but how could they? A crayon appeared in my hand, and I was still. It was so green. A crayon had been in my hands before. It had been orange, so orange, more orange than oranges, looked so delicious I had eaten it. I'd never eaten oranges before, only shown them, had set them before me to sharpen my punishment. "You can't have this, but I want it. Do you want this? I'll have to punish you." No, I don't want it. But you do, and now you're lying. I have to punish you. Lying is a sin. No, please. But this green, it was like the spot on the wall, the spot the man had never known about. In my room, the walls and ceiling pressing in on me, comforting in their way. In that darkness that was comforting in its way, I could see this one spot of green. All those terrible things done to me in the darkness, outside of my little room, all the tears, the pain, the blood, and I could see that green. I drew it now. But when I pulled my hand away from the paper, there was a knife there. It was so shockingly lifelike, so sharp, it threatened to leap from the paper. I dropped the crayon, breathing very fast, and the page disappeared, whipped away. Now it was on the bottom of the notepad. I was done with it, it had been decided. The knife was for someone else, just as the first knife had been. How long ago was it? And how many days did I have left? 3? Not more than 3. Very good, the doctor said. She was relieved. The darkness was filled with murmuring voices, the voices in my head, the demons. They began to gibber, to whisper, to damn. But the doctor said something, and the voices stopped. All the voices. "What do you see?" the doctor asked. The doctor demanded. And the crayon, the green crayon, appeared in my hand. "A spot," I said, and it was true. I wanted her to see the spot, to see that I was a good girl and I was telling the truth. "Can I see it?" the doctor asked, but there was doubt in her voice. She doubted me. Okay, I said, and drew the dot. But it wasn't a dot. I took my time, wanting to get each uneven edge correct. I sat back, exhausted, triumphant. I was a good girl. But it wasn't the dot. It was the man. I moaned, seeing his face. This was the second time. The first time I saw him smiling too. He had green eyes, such green eyes full of laughter and light. How could those be his eyes? How could that be his face? It was my father's face. "Very good, Teresa, very good," the doctor said. She liked it, but she didn't say it like my mother would have, like a mother should have. She said it like my father. She said it like the man. The page was flipped away. It was under the knife. "Now, Teresa," the doctor said. She said the name that wasn't mine. "Teresa, I need you to show me what you did. Can you do that? Can you show me what you did to the man, to the spot?" I could see her now, a shape in the darkness. She wasn't my mother. She wasn't my father either. She wasn't the man, but she was a liar like everyone else. No one could help me. No one wanted to help me. They just wanted to do things. They wanted to do things to me. Yes, there were demons inside me, but they were nothing like these demons outside me. Could you show me? Could you show me? Could you show me? Could you show me? Yes, we can. And I ripped at the perfect whiteness, tearing madly, so quickly that no hands could have stopped me. And I found it, the knife. And I was so relieved that it was there. It was a reassuring weight in my hand, a relief. Now you will hurt, you will cry. I hope you die, the demon screamed out with a voice that was stronger than mine could ever be. It was good to hear them again. I stabbed the doctor again and again, a desperate dance full of joy and release. I was reliving my happiest memory in the dark that was always my friend. Later, someone held me, a woman, and she was soft in strange places, and I touched her, and she hummed a song I'd never heard before. It made me sleepy. This was the doctor, and she was an angel. We were alone, even if there were sinning hands nearby, even if I was a sinner and she cared for me. Let me kill her. Can you be my mother? I asked her. No, she said softly, but I can be your friend. I admired the doctor. She could make people do things, and she could tell the truth. I wanted to be just like her. I wanted to be heard just like her. And the demons, they nodded their approval and encouraged me to snuggle close. It would only be a matter of time before I'd be free. Free to eat oranges, free to do anything I wanted, out of cages forever. 3 days tops. Then I could be heard. Will you tell me a story?
Nope.